What is going on, guys? Gene here, and here for you today the last installment of the Verdant Conflict card review. First up, we're going to start out with the last leader card revealed for the set, Mono Garnet Rebel. Here's how she'll look like once you get her. In terms of card art, I think it's one of my more favorite alt arts that I've seen in a while. Mono looks so cool, and she'll look the same as she did in the story. So that's basically it. Now let's get on to the cards. First we have Mistolina, Forest Princess, 6 mana, 4/6, gold, Natura, Swordcraft Follower. Accelerate 1, put a Princess strike into your hand, and has Ward, Fanfare, you put a strike into your hand. But if there are fewer allied followers than your enemy followers in play, recover 2 play points. Same mechanic as Sword's been doing in this set, just recovering play points. And Princess Strike is a 2 mana spell. Randomly deal 3 damage to one of the strongest enemy followers in play. And there's an allied great tree in play, deal 5 damage instead. And then you give Storm to a random allied Mistolina. Again, side games, giving Storm to random stuff is a trend in this set. The dealing 5 damage to random enemy follower is very good. It's basically a 2 mana silver force spell. Pretty good. That's a Sneak Attack. 1 mana bronze Havencraft amulet as a Natura trait. Countdown 2 Fanfare. If there's an allied creature in place, subtract 1 from the cost of this amulet, or 1 from the countdown. And last word, you summon Meowsker Ruff-Tuff Major, which is a 3 mana 1/3 Storm, and strike, deal 1 damage to melee leader. Just a very aggressive card. Next we have Master Adjudicator, 5 mana 5/4 gold Havencraft Follower, has Crystallize 2, countdown 3. Last words, you summon a copy of him, and he has Rush and Strike. If you could evolve and have more evolution points than your opponent, reduce damage to his follower to 0 until the end of the turn. So basically, if you're ahead on evolution points, this guy is just free trades all around, and you can play him earlier if you don't want to waste your mana on turn 5. Just a solid card all around. Next we have Awakened Ragna, the next Portalcraft legendary card, but stems a spell, 2 mana legendary spell, deal 3 damage to an enemy follower, which is alright. Just like a normal bronze spell. But it has Enhanced 9, where you choose to put a Vesha, Herald of Ravage, an Izalu, Herald of Death, or a Jotet, Herald of Despair into your hand. So one of those 3 girls. Now what are they? Vesha is a 0 mana 10/10 legendary Fanfare. Discard your hand and give you the following effect. At the end of your turn, this changes the enemy's leader maximum defense to 2, which is insane. All these cards are pretty nuts. Izalu, Herald of Death, 0 mana 10/10. Fanfare, if you have 4 cards or more in your deck, banish all cards in your deck until only 3 cards remain, then banish all their followers and amulets. Wow. And Jotet, 0 mana 10/10, Rush, Fanfare, subtract 8 from your maximum number of play points. And reduce damage to his follower to 0. Can be affected by spells and effects, except for those that change this card's attack defense. So this one's basically an Aegis, but makes your play points go back down to 1 or 2, depending on where you play this. But yeah, that seems insane. All of them just seem pretty good. I'm pretty interested in what decks will arise from these cards. These cards just seem very strong. Next we have Viridia Magna, 6 mana 0/6 neutral, Natura Follower, has Rush and Bane. So as of right now, that's still pretty good, even with 0 attack. Bane is just amazing. Fanfare, at least 1 great tree has been destroyed this match. Gain the ability to attack 2 times per turn. If 3 great trees have been destroyed this match, give you the following effect. If there's no allied Viridia Magnas in play, summon a Viridia Magna, destroy it, then remove this effect. Summon a Viridia Magna, evolve it, and then remove this effect. Oh, okay. And on evolve, it's a 4/6. Pretty good. Nice little payoff for great trees in any Natura deck since it's neutral. Next we have 5 mana 1/2 gold Runecraft Follower Chaos Wielder. Fanfare, draw 2 cards, subtract 0 from this card, and spell boost, subtract 1 more. And on evolve, so all the cards in your hand. So basically, this is the replacement we're getting for Fate's Hand. It is basically Fate's Hand, because when you play it, you draw 2 cards, and then it just gets cheaper every time you cast a spell. But it takes up a spot on your board, and what else? That it doesn't spell boost when you play it. It doesn't spell boost the cards in your hand like a normal spell would, like Fate's Hand. Here you have to evolve them to spell boost the cards in your hand, which is, again, fine. But it's not as good as Fate's Hand, in my opinion. Next we have Extreme Carrot. He is back. 2 mana, 2/2, silver, neutral, Natura follower. Last words, if there's a great tree in play, you put it back into your hand. So basically it is the old carrot, but as long as you have a tree in play, it will just keep going back to your hand. Very nice. Next we have Elegance in action. 2 mana gold spell, Swordcraft, draw a card, and then you summon a Heavy Knight. For each follower drawn, randomly deal 3 damage to an enemy follower for each non-follower drawn. And enhance 5, draw 3 instead. Pretty good card. Next we have Daffodil, Muse Princess. 4 mana, 4/3, Havencraft, Natura, Legendary. Fanfare, put a tree into your hand. Enhance 7, put 3 trees into your hand and recover 3 play points. Whenever an allied great tree comes to play, if there isn't a Meus Knight in play, summon a Meus Knight. And strike, recover a play point. Pretty standard, but a Meus Knight is a 1 mana 1/1, has Storm, Ward, and whenever a new tree comes into play, gain +1/+1. So basically, if you still have a Meus Knight and you keep putting trees into play, since you won't get any more off Daffodil, Meus Knight will just get bigger and bigger and bigger. Next, Avatar Fruition. 2 mana 3/1, Forestcraft, Natura, gold follower. Fanfare, put a fairy into your hand, and there's a great tree in play, put 2 fairies in your hand instead, and give them and gain rush. So this card gains rush. Pretty good card. Larahe, 2 mana 1/2, bronze, force, Bloodcraft follower, Fanfare, draw a card. Solid. Ogre Champion, 3 mana 3/3, bronze, Bloodcraft follower. If at least 2 cards were added to your hand from your deck this turn, deal 3 damage to any follower, and add 6, gain +3/+3. So, if I remember correctly, Bloodcraft is all they're doing this at is trying to get cards from the deck into your hand to trigger effects. This card, if you do get the effect off, it is a very strong effect, especially since 3 mana 3/3 is very great stats. This is a good card. Next, Deal with the Devil. 2 mana bronze spell for Bloodcraft. Deal 5 damage to a random ally follower and a random enemy follower. Both players draw a card. I would have been fine with a deal 5 damage to both a random ally follower and an enemy follower, but both players draw a card seems a little iffy. Next we have Sharanzaya, Masked Mayhem. Bloodcraft, gold follower, 5 mana 4/5. Has Bane. If at least 2 cards were added to your hand from your deck this turn, give this follower Storm. Again, giving side games even more stuff Storm. Ghastly Treant, 2 mana 2/2, Forestcraft, Natura follower, Fanfare, put a great tree into your hand. Then at least 2 other cards you play this turn, put a fairy into your hand. I feel like this is just better just put trees into your hand than fairies, but it's a good card. Amataz, Fairy Blader, Forestcraft, Legendary, 3 mana 2/3. Fanfare, if you have at least 2 fairies in your hand, gain +1/+1 reward. Then if you have at least 4 fairies in your hand, gain +1/+1 more and Bane. And then if you have at least 6 fairies in your hand, give +1/+1 Storm to all fairies in your hand. So 2 fairies in your hand becomes a 3/4 with ward for 3. 4 fairies in your hand, it's 4/5 with ward and Bane. 6 fairies in your hand is still 4 mana. It's still 4/5 with Bane and ward. But then you have 6 fairies in your hand. There are 2/2 storms. Pretty good. Next we have Corrupted Bat, 2 mana 2/2, Bloodcraft, Natura follower. Fanfare, put a great tree into your hand. If Vengeance is active for you, gain +1/+1 or in ward. Again, you'd probably just be played for the great tree. Vengeance is like nifty if you get there, but you probably will get there in the early game. Dragon Blader, Dragoncraft, 8 mana 5/5 bronze follower. Crystallize 5, Countdown 3, and the amulet will have Fanfare and Last Word Summon a Dragon, which is a 5/5. Yep, decent enough. Passionate Potioner, Runecraft, 3 mana, 2/3 bronze follower. Fanfare, select an ally amulet and put a copy of that amulet into your hand, so subtract 1 from its cost. So works well with the dirt rune cards, the earth essence, works well with the great trees, works well with like Silent Laboratory, stuff like that. Soul Snatcher, 4 mana, 3/4 bronze. Shadowcraft follower. Fanfare, Necromancy 3, summon a zombie. Pretty easy to trigger Necromancy 3, so it'll be basically a 4 mana 5/6. Decent enough. Next we have 1 mana bronze spell for Portalcraft Doll Operation. Give a random puppet in your hand +4/+0, and hand time put 2 puppets in your hand to give 2 random puppets in your hand +4/+0 instead. It's alright. Doll Operation is probably better as a 1 mana spell than an enhanced 7, in my opinion. Next we have Irene, Harvest Defender, 3 mana, 3/3 gold, Forestcraft follower. Fanfare, if at least 4 of the cards will play this turn, evolve this follower, becomes a 4/4, has ward, can attack 2 times per turn, and has strike till the end of this turn, reduce the damage to the follower to 0. A very solid value card. Play 4 cards, very easy to do in Forestcraft, and basically just trades the 2 followers for free. Has ward, which protects you, solid card all around. Next we have Hoarfrost Triceratops, 6 mana, 5/5 gold, follower for Dragoncraft, has the Nurture trait. Fanfare, if any allied great trees in play, randomly destroy 1 and destroy an enemy follower. Last words, if there's no great trees in play, summon a great tree. Pretty good card. Basic spot removal, 6 mana, dies, also replaces the tree it destroyed, draws you a card because when the tree dies, you get to draw a card. Just a solid card for Dragoncraft all around. Next, Iridescent Sphinx, 4 mana, 8 mana, 4/6, Crystallize 3, Countdown 2. Last words, you summon a Tutankhamun. And Ward, Fanfare, you summon the same card, and you give it Ambush. Tutankhamun is remember the 6 mana, 6/5, or 6/4 for Havencraft. Last words, if its health was not 1 when it died, resummon it again with 1 health. And this card is basically 8 mana, 4/6. You summon that same follower. This card has Ward and that card has Ambush. Just a very solid card all around. Next we have Frenzied Werewolf, 3 mana, 3/2 silver, Bloodcraft Natura follower, has Rush, Fanfare, if great trees and play Game Bane. Again, just good spot removal for the Natura Bloodcraft decks. Swift Tigress, 5 mana, 4/4 silver, Swordcraft Natura follower, has Rush. Even great trees in play, recover 3 play points. Enhance 8, gain Storm. So if a great tree in play, this comes a 2 mana, 4/4 with Rush, so it's pretty insane. And Enhance 8 becomes a 5 mana, 4/4 with Storm. And just a pretty good card all around for the Swordcraft decks. Nightprowl Vampire, 6 mana, 5/6, Natura Bloodcraft gold follower. Crystallize 1, Countdown 1. Last words, if it is your turn, put a random Natura card from your deck into your hand. If it's your opponent's turn, draw a card. And Fanfare, deal 2 damage to enemy follower, but if an ally great trees in play, deal 2 damage to all enemy followers instead. A little bit of counterplay, because if your opponent can destroy it on their turn, instead of getting a random Natura card from your deck to your hand, you just get a random card. And the Fanfare is very good, because usually you will have a great tree in play with Natura decks, so dealing 2 damage to all enemy followers on a 6 mana, 5/6 body is just pretty good. Next we have Lupine Axeman, 2 mana, 2/2 bronze, Swordcraft Natura follower, Fanfare, put a great tree into your hand, and if your allied followers and enemy followers in play, recover play point. Basically a 1 mana, 2/2, putting a tree into your hand as well. Just solid card around. I feel like all the classes are also getting this 2 mana, 2/2 body that gives you a great tree into your hand, but with an added effect. Yeah, just a solid card all around. Next we have Pyromancer, 3 mana, 2/3 silver, Follower Natura for Runecraft. Fanfare, if any ally amulets are in play, return 1 to your hand and deal 1 damage to all followers, but if the return card is a Great Tree, deal 2 damage instead. Again, just a solid card all around. We have to be wary that this card deals damage to all followers, that means including your own followers. But if you destroy more followers on your opponent's side than yours, then this card already has way too much value. Next we have 3 mana 2/2 Runecraft Legendary Wish Wielder. Fanfare, if this card has been exposed 5 times or less, randomly put 1 of the following cards into your hand. If this card is exposed 6 to 11 times, randomly put 2 of the following cards into your hand. But if it's exposed 12 times, randomly put 3 of the following cards into your hand. And they can include from Cassiopeia, Jiraiya, Adramelech, Ector, Spawn of the Abyss, Dark Jean, or Sylvia the Condemner. This card reminds me a lot of, I think it was Stella, the old 2 mana 2/1 for Runecraft, which gave you a card from like Starforged Legends into your hand at the end of every turn. But this one is basically a spell boost payoff, and it gives you 1 to 3 of any of these very powerful legendaries from all the other classes. They're all exceptionally well. I think the weakest one is probably Adramelech, but if anything, it's just a concentration with a 3 mana, draw 2 at worst. They all could just swing the game in your favor pretty easily. Yeah, I'm pretty excited for this card. Next we have Mysterian Wisdom, 2 mana bronze Runecraft Mysterious spell, so they're still giving us Mysterious support. Banish a card from your hand and put a copy of that card into your deck, and then you put a Mysterian Missile and a Circle into your hand. With Miranda leaving the format, I think this card will still help potentially make the Mysteria a very viable deck, more like a tier 2, tier 3 strategy, because Miranda, all she did was a cheap way to play Mysterious spell and give you advantage of your hand. This card does the same thing, just 2 mana free spell, put a Missile Circle into your hand. It also reminds me a lot of the old neutral spell, like the 1 mana ring. It did the same thing as this card. It basically just banish a card from your hand and put a copy into your deck, but instead of putting Mysterious Missile and Circle into your hand, it let you draw a card. That card didn't see that as much play, but this card can see a lot of play, mainly because, again, it has the Mysteria trait. It is 1 mana more, but it gives you 2 specific cards which are key to Mysteria decks. Yeah, it's a pretty solid card all around. Next we have Gigahand Golem, 2 mana 2/2 bronze follower for Runecraft, Fanfare, Earthright, gain Rush, and summon a Scrap Golem, and enhance 7, gain +4/+4. Just a solid card, not particularly well in rotation, more of a take 2 card. Next we have Levin Scholar, 5 mana 3/4 Swordcraft, Levin follower, bronze, has Ward, and Fanfare randomly put 2 different Levin cards, excluding itself, from your deck into your hand. This is good because it gets 11 cards, so you can get the Levin Sisters spell, which is pretty good, but also because this is the first Levin support that we've gotten for the Levin trait in like this whole set, because it's the only Levin card in the set, which is surprising. But again, it's not as surprising because Albert could just bring him out on Enhanced 9, so it's nice that now you can have a full board with Albert, but some of the cards are still not as strong, mainly the 1 mana 1/1. But this card is pretty good, again, because you bring off Albert on Enhanced 9, it's a 3/4 ward, protects your whole board, and it helps you tutor our cards. And next we have Val's Champion Deadeye, 2 mana 2/2 silver officer for Swordcraft, Fanfare, enhance 6, banish enemy follower amulet, and evolve, destroy an enemy follower with 3 defense or less. Now this card is, I think, pretty nuts, because on Vampire he has both of Val's old effects, where instead of getting the spell into your hand, you get the effect straight away. On hand 6, you get the Holy Pure Bomb, which just banish enemy follower amulet, which is a 6 mana 2/2 banish enemy follower amulet, is pretty good, since that's mainly a 5 mana type of spell, so basically you're getting a 1 mana 2/2 worth of stats. And on evolve, you destroy an enemy follower with 3 defense less. So if you play this on 6 banish enemy follower amulet, then you evolve it, you basically you're getting rid of 2 cards for 1, for the price of 1 card. It's pretty nuts, and especially if you do just play this on like turn 4 on your evolve turn. You play this as a 2-mana 2/2. Evolving and destroying a follower with 3 defense or less is very strong. This card is pretty hype for the Swordcraft decks. Next we have Enhanced Tiger, 4-mana 3/3 silver follower for Portalcraft. Has a Natura trait, Rush. If there are no great trees in play, summon a great tree. This is on strike. And if an allied great tree is in play, give it +1/+1. So, generates trees for you, just gets bigger if you have a great tree. If you have a great tree, it's a 4-mana 4/4 rush, which is already great value all around. But if not, it gives you great tree, which is just good. Next, we have Cannon Hermit Crab, Portalcraft, Natura follower, 6-mana 6/6 gold. At the end of your turn, if Resonance is active for you, or if you have a great tree in play, you summon a Cannon Hermit Crab and change its attack and defense to X and Y. X and Y are equal to half this follower's attack and defense rounded up. So, if you have Resonance active for you, or you have a tree, when you play this on turn 6, you get a 3/3 out of it. And then if both of them survive somehow on your next turn, at the end of your turn, since you probably have a great tree in play, you get 2 of them, one being a 2/2 and one being 3/3. This card just starts snowballing in control if it keeps surviving. And that's pretty much it for the card review. Tell me what you guys like from this part of the card review in the comments down below. Tell me what you didn't like. Any card you want to see played in a deck. I know there are a lot of cards in here that I want to personally play in a few decks. Mainly cards like Valse and Levin Scholar. Wish Wielder, definitely Wish Wielder. And there was one more. Yeah, the Portalcraft legendary spell. That one seems pretty insane, and I really want to try it out. So yeah, please tell me in the comments down below what decks you guys want to see when it's out. Pre-release is very soon, so I could have videos up by then, testing with a couple of my buddies, playing with some of the new decks. And don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and Gene out.